Hello everyone, and welcome back to the weekly Minecraft Ramble. I don't know why I sound so excited right now. I'm gonna stop, I'm sorry. I've been waffling on what I want to talk about all freaking day at this point. I don't really know why, but I just have. And, get out the water. And I've finally boiled it down. I've been listening to, I listened to a couple episodes of the Co-optional podcast. A new Drontron came out today. I watched that. I've just been kind of kicked back today because it's been a long week. Yeah, and fun fact, this is Saturday. Today is Saturday. I'm gonna start recording these the Saturday the week before, which I know is weird. But I looked back at the one I recorded for last week, which I recorded on a Tuesday after work, and I was in this weird limbo between being on, because I was still kind of in that work mindset where I need to sound kind of like, I don't even know how to put it, but I just need to sound on, I guess it's a good word, even though I'm not. And I was stuck somewhere between that and, okay, are you done with that? Okay, and just being dog tired to a point where I couldn't really continue a train of thought past starting it. So I'm gonna start recording these on Saturdays, or Saturdays. But the topic that I've chosen this week is based on I don't want to say a whim. It's based on a hope that next week everything will work out and I will have a guest on, because I've asked a couple of different places, and the general consensus is I need someone to talk to. That's one of the first things I thought when I started doing anything like this. As a matter of fact, I remember saying it in Prime somewhere. God, if I remember exactly where. But I remember saying it in there that it's easier to talk when. Are we seriously going to keep doing these lag spike things? I hate you. That having someone to talk to makes talking easier, because when I've got my own train of thought and I'm following that one train of thought, that's all you're getting. And it's all I'm getting too. It's all the stimulation I'm getting. So when a train of thought runs out, I've got to desperately search for a new one. And that where when I'm talking with someone, of course, I have someone to talk to, and they're adding their own trains of thought, and that makes it different. But I'm drifting off from the point. This week, I want to talk about the merits of local co-op. I know that sounds like a weird topic, but it's something that I still value. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the best co-op sessions I've ever had playing with friends have been with John 3 Mac and Martin online, and these lag spikes are really getting annoying. I don't know what's causing them. I've got I completely lost that train of thought. I've got everything but the recording software in Minecraft closed. Actually, give me just a second to check some things, because I haven't started a timer either. So, yeah, I need to do that. Okie dokie. I have bumped the recording. I had the recording capped at 30 because it hasn't really mattered what with recording Metroid Prime and all. That's the preview's basically running at 30. Hopefully this should fix it. Nope, that didn't fix anything. I'm beginning to wonder if it's my rotating wallpaper background thing. I might just end up having to turn that off while I'm recording. I'll do it during the next break. Anyway, the local gaming co-op sessions. While that online stuff is fun, one of the things that me and my friends around here do are we get together and we play Call of Duty split screen. And I know what you're thinking. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. Call of Duty single player, like, it's all the same thing, and I think that's what the real problem with that series is. It's not that it's necessarily done poorly. It's not that, it's not that any specific element is what's wrong. It's all, the problem is every game is pretty much the same. They don't, you get like one or two fun things, and then that's it. But now, with split screen multiplayer, that's a totally different thing. And because it leaves you to come up with so much of the material yourself. Like, when you start screwing around with the settings where you can't do and this is another thing I want to go out and say. I can't play Call of Duty online anymore. I cannot do it. And it didn't really strike me as to why it didn't appeal to me until, like I said, I've been watching some co-optional stuff, and I watched one of the older ones with PBG on it, and he made the statement that he realized, he used to play Modern Warfare 2 was the last one he played online, which is the last one I played online, and God, this lag thing, and he said, it eventually dawned on him that the game just made him mad. Like, even when he was doing good, the game, he was mad at the game because, you're dealing with stupid people, and you're either dealing with people who are taking this really cheap AAA game far too seriously, or 4-year-olds. That's pretty much the audience for Call of Duty. I don't feel like I'm doing this right. I'm not. I built these stairs backwards. Bells. But that was the point where I stopped playing Call of Duty online, because it just because I was in the same boat. Call of Duty just made me mad. It upset me. I wasn't enjoying the game. Stop lagging, please. It's got to be the road. Okay, so I've fixed that, and okay. If this doesn't work, I'm out of ideas. Anyway, where was I? Crap. Ooh, noise scared me. Yeah, I couldn't enjoy the game. I was always mad at it. Even when I was doing good, I was frustrated at the game. Just because I couldn't have fun with it. But for, when I'm, but when I'm playing locally with friends, like, we'll get together and we'll spend hours just messing around. Like, lately, for a while it was Modern Warfare 3, that was the latest one, and then Black Ops 2 came out. And Black Ops 2 is okay. It's a first-person shooter. That's pretty much the end of what I can say about it. It's a first-person shooter. Looks good. It's solid, but it's a first-person shooter. It sure is a first-person shooter. So and that being said, I've played through the single player all the way, and I've actually played through it on veteran. And this is something else that struck me as weird about Black Ops 2. This is why we call this the Ramble, because I'm getting completely off topic here. My beef with Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, I finished on the hardest difficulty. So, what is that? I don't remember. But I finished it on the hardest difficulty. And still with these lag spikes, I don't understand. I hate you. I'm going to turn the particles down or something. That's something I can do without actually having to pause. But yeah, minimum particles are already decreased. Great. Freaking, I don't know then. Bring the render distance down, I guess. Whatever. But I mean, but I couldn't, like, I eventually did, and afterwards I swore I'd never touch the single player on Black Ops 2 again. I finished it on the second the hardest. But it was such a chore. And I mean, and I don't use that term lightly because, I mean, like I said, gaming is something that I legitimately enjoy. And it's something that I take pride in enjoying. Because, I mean, games are supposed to be relaxing and fun, and Black Ops 2 was not. And I can tell you exactly why. The set piece elements. You know, in areas where, you know, I'm dying because, you know, I overlooked something, or I ran into a grenade, or I missed a sniper, or something like that, that's one thing. But vividly, very vividly, and if you haven't played Black Ops 2, I'm sorry that I'm fixing to spoil this part for you, but whatever. There's a part in Black Ops 2 where you're in, I don't know, you do a beach landing, and then you've got that hostage, and then you're in this building, and a helicopter comes around and starts shooting at the building, and you've got to run down the hall with these two AI guys and get away from the helicopter. And to do so, you've got to run down the hall of this decrepit building and then make this almost impossible jump. I spent almost literally half an hour trying to clear that one part. It's not a skill thing. It wasn't, you know, it was dumb luck that I finally beat it, because, you know, sometimes the gunship would randomly kill me. Sometimes my freaking AI partners would get in the way and make me miss the jump. Sometimes he wouldn't jump, period. And then, you know, most of the time it looked like I should be making the jump. And the one time that I swore that I was going to miss the jump is the time I made the jump. What is that bull crap? Like, seriously. So when the freaking cinematic elements of the game that you're trying to get me to play don't work, that's when I have a problem with your game. You know, I didn't have that problem with Modern Warfare 2. It had those set piece things, and yeah, they felt shoehorned, but they friggin' worked, or at least they did for me. You know, maybe I just suck at Black Ops. I don't know, but anyway, I'm getting, you know, that's way off topic, and that's going into rant territory, because just you know, it's so yeah. But at the same time, I don't dislike FPSs. I'm not gonna go out and say I'm amazing at them, but when I'm on the ball, I'm really good, at least among my circle of friends. I don't know much past that, and like I said, I refuse to play online anymore unless it's cooperative. I absolutely refuse to do any sort of competitive multiplayer first-person shooter online ever again. I will not do it. You will not get me to do it, period. You know, no, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Horde mode's totally different. Mass Effect 3, some of my favorite online multiplayer. I still play it to this day. It's almost 2 years old now, and me and my friend Johnny Mac still pick it up and play it from time to time. As a matter of fact, we seriously need to do some more, because it's been a while. You know, we picked it up for a day and then we put it back down because I don't remember why. We got distracted. But I mean, that's the Hordes. That kind of stuff's great, and that's why I like, you know, I like cooperative stuff. It's weird. I'm not a huge competitive gamer, but on that same page, I remember playing the Crysis 3 beta with John, and it was some of the most fun I've ever had. And I don't know if because it was just, you know, Crysis is sort of a different brand of FPS, where it's not like we're trying to be super realistic modern day soldiers. And instead it was like, you're a super soldier, go have fun, and here's a bow with exploding arrows, because those are still relevant in this future soldier thing. But I mean, we had a lot of fun with that, and to the point where I'm really not sure why we haven't bought that game. And but I mean, but anyway, that was fun, and that's FPS, and that was all competitive. And I mean, it's like, I've never been. And on that, also, I'm not a deathmatch competitive guy. I don't like deathmatches. When I did play Modern Warfare a long time ago, all I'd really play is Demolition or stuff like that. I like the objective things because, I mean, honestly, I don't have the most stable connection in the world, but it's good. But then at the same, you get other people with unstable connections, and you don't know, you get like weird things that happen. It's just not solid enough to hedge your bets on. It's like, I don't know, with server issues and stuff like that, trying to be competitive online is such a hit and miss thing that you don't feel like, if you do something, you feel like you got lucky that the game decided to cooperate. You don't feel like, oh, I'm really good at this game. In Mass Effect, on the multiplayer, when I'm, playing my Quarian Infiltrator, and I'm hoarded up behind a wall, and I've got my sentry turret over there, and John's on the other side of me with his, like, heavy, he plays the Vanguard classes, and when he's over there doing that, and we're holed up, and we're holding a point, or we're capturing a point, or we're targeting enemies, and I pop off 3 headshots in a row with my Black Widow, I feel like I earned that. I don't feel like, oh, the game mechanics decided to cooperate. It's not that kind of thing for that, where, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still have lag issues, but I don't know, it's just not solid enough. It's all so finicky. I'm still ranting instead of talking about my actual topic. But yeah, I mean, but with local co-op, it does come down to skill. And it's really satisfying to mess with your friends. I have this, a lot of people hit grooves differently. Some people are completely hit and miss for for the whole day. They pick it up, and if they're going to be good, they're going to be good that day. And if they're going to be bad that day, they're going to be bad that day. I'm a sweet spot gamer, in which, and by that I mean, I've got to warm up. On a bad day, I have the potential to warm up, and then I've got, like, depending on what time we're playing or what the game is, I've got like an hour or 2 of prime gaming. Again, with the motioning with my hands while, it's just great. But yeah, I've got like that sweet spot to where I'm going to be my most effective, and then it's all downhill from there. I bowl the same way. After I throw the ball 3 times, I get about where I'm gonna be, and then it's just all downhill from there because fatigue or whatever. But I'm not a bowler. Bowling, I'm bad at bowling. I think the highest I've ever bowled was a 120. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, so totally lost it. But oh yeah, so like, for instance, Monday night after work, everybody wanted to get together because last week was spring break for my college friends. And by that I mean my friends who are, still in college, because, they're better at life than I am. But, so we got together and we played Black Ops 2 in my room. And, we started out with the standard deathmatch, and that, that's fun and all. But the party modes are where we have all our fun. Gun game's the big one. Also, one in the chamber. We just have so much fun with that. And like that's where that game is the most fun for me. Cause like for instance, I've got a friend, Jacob, and we've made the joke before, but it's quick. The joke is quickly becoming reality. You don't beat Jacob in a knife fight. I don't know why he's so good at knife fights, but he is. Like, ridiculously so. And if you've played gun game on Black Ops 2 before, you know that if you get knifed in gun game, you go down a gun. Well, for some reason, and you know, I'm gonna make this sound like it was this terrible idea, but I'm going to also go on record up front and say that it was my terrible idea. So I'm not allowed to complain about it, but I'm gonna complain about it anyway. I had the brilliant idea to turn up the penalty to 10, meaning if you get knifed, you go down 10 guns, right? So, you know, we're playing, and in the first match, Jacob hit me 2 guns in, and, you know, it was, that's a thing, this is gonna be, you know, it's all fun, and stuff like that. And then we started our second game, and I was in the Rockets, which is close to the end. And I come around a corner, and he panic knifed me, and he's really good about that. Because he tries not, you know, we're friends hanging out playing games. We don't get serious that much. It's just screwing around. And I think that's the reason that it's so much fun, because it's just screwing around. But you can't do that online. Like, the closest I've ever come to that experience online in a competitive atmosphere is I played MAG for about a week. If you don't remember MAG, that was the PS3 exclusive that was all about massive online matches, like a 250 person matches were the biggest maps, and that was that game's thing. And I got pulled into a clan somehow, and you know, none of us were amazing, but we just hung out. We just hung out and played MAG. One of the guys was a professor somewhere. You know, I was 19 at the time. You know, we just hung out. We just talked. And that was the most fun I've ever had. And it's like, I've got a friend in college over at East Georgia, the guy that owns the Vaxxerius. I've talked to y'all about him before. If y'all watched my Metroid stuff, he's the guy that owns, it's his Prime Trilogy disc. And he's in a Battlefield 3 clan. And I don't know how good his clan is. I don't know how good he is, but he had, you know, he has nothing but good things to say about those experiences. And that's about the only time I think I'd enjoy a competitive experience, because I enjoy just, it's, you know, even like, I think that's why I like playing Dungeon Defender so much, because there's not that much game going on after the first few waves, you know, and I mean, so it's just us talking, and it's like, it's a hangout game, and that's why I'm eager to get like a Minecraft session going. And you know, now that I have an income, servers are more of an option. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, so like, I enjoy that kind of, I guess in that sense, I don't really play games competitively, you know, period. Even, it's not if I'm not gonna have fun with it. You know, I've gotten serious before, but I mean, it's why I hesitate to call myself a quote unquote hardcore gamer. You know, I feel like my attitude towards it is fairly casual. But you know, nowadays with Facebook free-to-play stuff like Farmville and stuff like that, casual gaming is almost like an insult to someone who grew up playing games, you know, because it's like you're associated with that. It's like, oh, you're a casual gamer, so you play Farmville, and it's like, no, I just don't have to win. I enjoy winning. Winning's great, but I don't have to win. He's like Mario Party, great example. We played Mario Party. What did I do? I didn't do anything. Okay. Friggin' lag spike threw me off. We played, me and 3 friends sat down and we played Mario Party 6. I think it was. I took my GameCube down to the church and we were playing down at the church. And, you know, we teamed up 2 on 2. Because that always seems to be fun. But we did that, and, you know, I didn't even care that when things would go bad, because it was just like it was just so much fun to sit down and play a game with people. And don't get me wrong, there were things that made us mad, but it was never like actual anger. It was like that kind of mad where you're screaming at the TV, but at the same time you're smiling and laughing along with everyone else, because you're the one screaming at the TV and everyone's like, "Hi, he's mad, it's fun," and you're like, "Yeah, it is fun, but that sucked, but God, it's so much fun." That's why I love and value that kind of local co-op. And I mean, like I said, I enjoyed our Left 4 Dead sessions, but it can't touch sitting down next to someone and playing a game for me. And it's like, when Martin was over last year, even then, those were more fun than playing with Martin online, because you can look over it. Like, I mean, I think that's the big thing. I'm sitting next to Jacob, and he wins somehow. He impossibly beats me in a knife fight, and being able to like reach over and slap him in the back of the head or punch him in the arm or something like that. I don't know. You can't compete with that. And I don't know if it's because I grew up where that was the only option when I was growing up. You wanted to play with somebody, you went to their house or they came to your house. Period. That was multiplayer. And that was the only way you were going to get it. And it was great. But like now, and don't get me wrong, I love being able to play with Martin even though he's in Germany. I love having that option. But it'll never be as fun as having him over at the house playing while he's sitting next to me. Hang on a second. So yeah, I love local co-op, and that's why when I found out that I remember the first time I ever played Halo 3 multiplayer, period. We were down at the church, we had a lock-in, and we did System Link, and we did 4-on-4 teams on 2 TVs. And that was so much fun. Because at the time, I was not to say I'm great now, but I was a lot worse at games back then. Like, a lot worse. And I was really bad at FPSs, and there was a guy over who played online a lot, and he was schooling all of us to the point where we teamed up 7-1, and he was still beating us. But it was so much fun, and it's like, because that kind of fun where like you celebrate when you get one kill. That was the first thing, and then like we tried to do that lately we've tried it with both Modern Warfare 3 and with Black Ops 2. But you can only, when you're doing System Link, you can only do 2 on a split screen. What's with that? That doesn't make any sense. And now with Call of Duty Ghosts, you can only do 2 local split screen. Why are they wiping that out? It can't be that complicated of a thing to program to where it's, it worries me. I'm worried for the future of local co-op and local multiplayer. Like, why can't I split screen Dead Space? Borderlands 2 is doing it right. I'm building that on the wrong level. If I remember right, the first one you couldn't do it, but in 2, you can do split screen and online. I think you can only do 2. In that case, you could still only do 2. But like, I remember we tried to play one of the years. I had my friends over and we watched E3. The last day when things died down, we decided we were going to play Borderlands, and we had 2 TVs in my room because at the time, the Vaxeris was right after the school semester let out, so he was fixing to move home for the summer. So he grabbed his TV out of the dorm and he brought it over and he set it up in my room in the corner, and like we'd play stuff on his TV, and we had the coverage going on mine, or we'd pull the coverage up on my laptop and have 2 games going on my TV and his TV. And we decided we wanted to play Borderlands, but we couldn't do the online and the split screen at the same time. We were like, oh, that kind of sucks. And then 2 came out, and they're like, now you can do that. And I'm like, you guys are on the box. You know, you guys are on the ball, dude. Y'all are, that's awesome stuff. You know, but now that's not an option anymore. I mean, you can do. Oh yeah, I mean, it's like, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that it's saying, okay, you can do 2 on one screen and then go play online with Borderlands. You know, some of you are probably saying, well, why is that different? Because Borderlands is 4-player co-op. Period. That you can only have 4 players. But like, you know, we wanted to have those 4-on-4 matches, or in that case, 3-on-3. We had 6 people here that night. We were going to do 3-on-3 matches, and it wouldn't let us do it. You could only do 2 on one screen, and I don't know. I mean, especially when the game is already obviously contains the programming to do 4-player split screen. Why can't you do 4-player split screen while you're doing System Link? I don't understand why that's a problem. But yeah, I think I don't. Some people would argue me on this, but I don't think that local co-op is not a thing that needs to be dead. It's something that I still value highly. It's a wonderful experience, and like I said, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the online multiplayer experiences that I have, the co-op experience I have with friends and stuff like that. Those are great, but they'll never compare to having the person sit across the room with me. Like, when our power went out a few weeks ago, I was talking about this on Twitter, because it set me back a few weeks on a few days on uploading on my uploads. And we were out power for 3 days. And after the first day, I went and hid at John's house. And about 2 weeks earlier, I'd bought Blacklist, but I hadn't really played it that much, and I don't remember why. I just hadn't played it that much. So I took it over to his house, and we started over, because I started over completely because I didn't have my saves on my cloud, and I didn't have my Xbox with me. I took my desktop, but I didn't take my Xbox, because I was hoping that it wasn't going to be an extended stay, and luckily it wasn't as long as it could have been, because that was a really bad ice storm. And I don't really think that, we were really prepared for it, all things considered, and anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. We sat down and we started, it's been a long time since I've played a game like this, and we pulled up my profile, and we started playing, and we played Past the Control. We played the co-op missions together, and we kind of passed off on the single player missions. He passed up on more of them than I did, but I mean, most of what we did was we'd hammer through the co-op missions, and then every now and then I'd run a single player when I'd need to wind down, or he wanted a break or something like that. And that split screen co-op is just so fun to sit there and be able to directly communicate with somebody, or it's like, all right, where are you looking? I'm looking over there, and you're like, oh, okay, and just, I don't know, that's something that you just can't really emulate online, as hard as we've tried to do it. And there have been some, and like I said, I have some fun online co-op experiences. I hate that Dead Space 3 can't be done. I don't even think you can system link Dead Space 3, which is kind of a bummer, because if you got 2 people in the same place, I'd like to not have to worry about using up network connection and stuff like that, and have to ping an outside server when the person's sitting in the same building as you. That seems really stupid to me. But I've aligned this wrong, haven't I? Yeah, I have. Anyway, but so but when you're in different places, that's fun. And Dead Space 3 is a bad example, because it does the kind of separate view things with Carver seeing some things that Isaac doesn't see. That's kind of a cool thing. Because like I got Dead Space 3 before John did, and originally we were gonna do, we were gonna wait on each other, and I was gonna be Isaac first, and he was gonna be Carver first, and then we were gonna flip. But I got it before him, and I tried to, but I couldn't wait, because I ordered the dev team edition, so I got the box, and then I got it. It shipped release day, and I got it. It was like 2-day shipping on it, or well, I didn't pay for 2-day shipping, but for somehow it got here in 2 days, and that was great. So I didn't. So I tried to wait. I really did. I put it off for 2 days. I sat there and stared at it, and I couldn't wait anymore, and I had to play it. So I picked up and I played through before he got it, and then when he got it, I'm like, all right, you're Isaac first, because I've already played Isaac, and you can play Isaac, and then we can compare. So anyway, so like that's not a good example, because you got the stuff where Carver's seeing different things in the co-op missions. So, split screen would kind of ruin the replayability there, unless you just really wanted to be Carver for those things. But I just needed to breathe for a second. Which was good, because that's where my alarm went off. Hang on. But yeah, there's still so much value in sitting down next to somebody and playing a game. It's I don't think I had this conversation. It's gonna be weird, but I had this conversation actually with my pastor and my youth pastor last weekend. On Sunday, because we do a satellite location. On the way back, we had this conversation in the car about how social media is kind of taking over everything, and to the point where, according to some projections, in X amount of years, I can't remember how long they said it was, but in so many years, like a face-to-face relationship of any kind is going to be almost non-existent. And, I know the statistics are leaning in that way, but I honestly, personally, I don't know, I know I can't speak for everybody, because, don't get me wrong, I'm not completely an introvert, but I don't really like people either. Like, crowds don't bother me, but I sure don't want to go out of my way to talk to everyone in that crowd. I've got my circle of friends, and I like them, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to ignore someone. I can sit down and talk to a stranger, and to the point where I've done that a few times. It'll be, I'm playing with one of my online friends, and they'll bring in a couple of their other online friends, and then, that gets weird at first, but at the same time, that's great, but, like, I'm not, this, I'm not going to talk to anyone that I don't know. But I also, I'm not, I'm extremely outgoing and I will talk to everyone. I'm not that guy either. Which means it's really great that I work in sales now. But then again, that's a totally different perspective, because I can hide behind this, this air of business. I can hide behind that, and then that makes it different. But that's not where I was going with any of those statements. But I can't think of a day that I won't be like, John, you just need to come over. Like, I get that we can play stuff online, but like, seriously, you need to come over so we can do stuff. Like, just come over, or I'll go, or I'm coming over there. I don't think I'll ever be past that. Even if my little circle of friends that I play the co-op, Call of Duty with, even if they all had internet and Xbox Live and all that stuff, and we played every night, I'd still be like, you guys need to come over, and we need to sit down, and we need to, friggin' play on one screen, because it's more fun. I don't think I'll ever be past valuing that. But yeah, unless I'm mistaken, I'm going on like 3 full timers here, which means I'm pretty sure this one's going to be over 30 minutes long. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start winding this one down. I like to think I'm getting better at this whole talking thing because of what I'm doing at work. You know, I'm having to just suck it up and learn to talk to people. And you know, like I said, I'm not super introvert, but I'm not really outgoing either. So like it's this if I'm going to deal with someone I don't know, I like having a game plan. And working with a business, I have that. You know, I've got the checklist of things I need to say to them, or things I need to get from them, because like I work with RVs, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but in order to get them the information they need from my coworkers, I know that I need this, and this from them. You know, I need to know this part, and I need to know this part, and I'm gonna need a name and a number to get back with you if someone can't talk to you right now, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So I can hide behind that. Or you know, I've gotten to the point where I'm there long enough where, you know, people come to pick up orders or whatever, and I'm the one that talked to them on the phone. You know, I may not have been the one that placed the order, but I'm the one that talked to them over the phone. So but I can hide behind that sort of, you know, I work at a place, and you're here talking to me because I work here, and I'm talking to you because I work here, and it's not me trying to make something out of something and all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wrap this one up. Thank you all for watching. For those of you who have watched I just threw a torch on the ground. For those of you who have watched the Metroid Prime thing, today the last episode went up, for me anyway. You know, for those of you who stuck with that, you're awesome. You know, I hope you enjoy it. If you haven't watched it, I've got a complete playlist. It's 8 hours long. But, you know, I would appreciate it if you went and watched that, because I enjoyed doing it, and I hope that some of you out there will enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. I'm working on 2 now. That's a thing. You know, the first episode of that will go up Monday, and I've already got the first set of that recorded, and it's all ready to go there, and all that good stuff, you know. So go watch the Metroid stuff, or go watch the Left 4 Dead videos, and you can see some of those fun multiplayer sessions where we just have stupid conversations while playing games, and those are some of the best parts of the multiplayer sessions, you know. But yeah, so that's all done. I've had a few people suggest that I do something in the horror genre. And you know, I'm not against that, but the only issue I have with it is that I want to do something. I want to try to keep what I put up clean. You know, I don't, and that's just a me standard thing. I've thought about doing some Amnesia custom stories, but you know, at the same time, I'd almost need to like play them first and see how bad they're gonna be. You know. But then again, you know, then it won't be as fun because I'll remember the puzzles, or I won't be scared of the things. Because like, I've played 1 or 2 with Lindsay and my little sister in here, and it's been some interesting things. But anyway, you know. But yeah, so I'm thinking about the future, and I am throwing around the idea of some Amnesia custom stories. I don't know how that'll go. But you know, that's something for the future. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I need to stop talking. So, goodbye everyone. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next week.